many communities, but today information is not being kept away from us. We have information, we have a right, and we want to put forth our right, and our voices need to be heard. And that is the reason why we're here today. I, as a representative of the tribals of Manipur, from outer Manipur, I represent your voice. I want to take the truth. Now, many times we are afraid of speaking the truth, and because we feel shy and we shy away from speaking the truth, that is why our voices are suppressed, our voices are kept oppressed. We as a people, let us not consider ourselves minorities. So long as you and I speak the truth will always prevail, and we are the majority. Let us learn this. Let us not shy away. Let us not be fearful just because we are few in number. The fewness of our numbers continue to make us strong only because we have God with us, who is our strength, who is the truth. And because of that truth, because we trust in that truth, God is faithful and He'll make us to prevail upon this wicked world that we are in. My dear brothers and sisters, my friends, the tribals of Manipur, I want you to join hands together. Let us put our hearts together, because we are tribals many times, because of our ethnic differences. We want to let our differences grow in between us. Let us shed all our differences. Let us look at the things that are common between us. Let us look at the things, the issues that are common to us. Many times we let our issues be separated because of the differences that we have. Let us shed our differences. If we come together, we will be able to forget our differences slowly. Our differences will part away from us as we bond together with the oneness of our mind, with the commonness, the common things that we have. The heart that we have is your right. I think your right is primary in your mind, in your heart. Let us look at whatever is needful for you and I to dwell on. Unless we dwell on our issues, unless we say we love our people, unless I say I love myself, how can I say I love you? How can you say you love me unless you love yourself, and unless you know me, unless I know you? Know each other by coming together. Let us know ourselves. Let us know each other, because that is the only thing that will take us together so that we can even fight for the common cause of our people. The tribals have lived in separation for a long, long time. Our tribals, because of our differences, will help each other unnecessarily for a long, long time. We are bound together by the love of Christ. It is the love of God that can bring us together once again. Because we are Christians in the first place, tribals have every right to love one another. And when we love, we have our strength. When we have our strength, we can make our voices heard. We can speak loud enough, and we can be heard. Therefore today, however few we are, we have this, the Autonomous District Council bill that was tabled in this year. Article 371C, which was proclaimed as one of the protection for the tribals of Manipur under the presidential order in the year 1972. Because of which we have the Hill Area Committee, which has been formed. In Manipur, we have, in a house of 60, there are 30 which are represented by the majority community. There are 20 who represent the 20 assembly constituencies in the hill areas of Manipur. And these 20 people are members of the Hill Area Committee. Whatever comes into the assembly, when it concerns matters of the hill, should be passed through the Area Committee, but never in the history of Manipur's assembly. Whatever matters that concern the tribal people when it passes even through the assembly are never put forth in the Food Area Committee. And that is why, even after 50 years, the tribals have felt so neglected. They have not been given due share even in the assembly. That is why this Autonomous District Council Bill 2021 was framed and put forward so that we will have our voices heard. And that is where this, when the bill was tabled, it was turned down. That is why we feel that we are not being heard. That is why today we sit here in protest. We want the voices of the tribal people being heard. In Manipur, when this bill was tabled, the Manipur Assembly will say that this is not a matter that is to be dealt with by the State Assembly. They say it is a center's, in the prerogative of the central government, it is at the Parliament. The Parliament says that this is an issue that has to be addressed by the states. And so there is this, apparently this controversy. I think if it is a matter to be dealt with by the Parliament, the Government of India must listen and hear the voices of the tribal people and do so in the Parliament. But if it is something that has to be done at the state should not lie to the people, to the tribals. The state must listen and know that this is an issue that is held very clearly even by the tribals, and therefore they must listen to us once again, and probably it must be taken to the assembly and the bill be discussed and passed. If there are issues where we need some amendments, let it be done so at the time of tabling and at the time of discussion. But just because they find some elements which are not seemingly very friendly to the state of Manipur, the tribals should not be thrown away, they should not be neglected, their rights should not be suppressed. That is what I want to say. And so, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, today, even in Manipur, in the hills of Manipur, the whole of the hills of Manipur are up in arms, in protest, in rally, and that is banned all over the hills of Manipur. And today, in solidarity with the tribals who are there, back home in our own state, we are gathered here, even at this very place, to make our voices heard, even to the Parliament of India, to the Government of India, and that for our people to know that we stand in solidarity with them. We share their sentiments, we share the grievances, and we share with our people the oneness of our hearts and our mind. Thank you very much for enabling yourselves to come. In future, wherever, whenever there is any need, and whenever leaders give us a call, let us, without any reservation, come forward and show our solidarity and share with the people of our states, so that the people in India will hear, the government of India will hear, and that they will continue to take our issues forward, so that our people in Manipur will be able to live in peace. The Chingtam Amatani has to be made practically pliable. Practically, it has to be a livable slogan, and not just in words, but Ching and Tam should come together. But if Tam tries to suppress the Ching, how can we live together? Amatani can never come into a practical word. Therefore, I want to say that Ching and Tam should respect one another, honor one another's rights, know one another's rights. Let us not step and stamp on one another, but let us uphold one another, lifting and holding hands, that we grow together to be equal in the face of this earth. Because it is a modern world, we need equality. Equality is the word that we need to share today. Thank you very much. Let the all Manipur tribals prosper, grow from height to height as we fight for our rights. Our voices will be heard because we stand on the truth and we will live for the truth. May God's name be glorified. Thank you so much.